My name is Lauren Green, and I am a senior at the University of Valley Forge, majoring in intercultural studies with a double minor in deaf culture and English. When I was 9 years old, God called me into missions, and from that moment on, I was sold out for Him. As an intercultural studies major at the main campus, I quickly became acquainted with Dr. Joanne Smith, who is the ICS and Deaf Culture Department Chair. As the daughter of an ASL interpreter and the granddaughter of 2 deaf grandparents, I had grown up in deaf culture, but I wasn't sure how it was going to fit into the call that God had on my life. But He did. Dr. J, as we call her, opened my eyes to an area of deaf culture I never knew. Of course, internships play a huge role in all of the programs here at UVF, and as an ICS major, professors really encouraged me to go overseas. Growing up, I thought God was calling me to Africa, but when I looked for internships there, every door was closed. Yet, God continued to open my eyes to Japan. Before I knew it, I was on my way to an 8-week internship in Tsukuba, Japan. Before leaving, we took an internship prep course where we learned the culture, language, and country that we were planning on ministering in. We also made a growth chart with personal goals that we wanted to accomplish during our internship, from learning the language to personal devotional time. I learned I can make all the plans I want, but ultimately, God will take me in the direction He wants me to go. Within the first week of being in Tsukuba, I was told there was a university for the deaf just a few miles away from the church I was serving at, and I was invited to visit. Of course, I said yes. Before visiting, the other interns and I decided to take a social media fast. We wanted to be ready for what God was going to do. Sign language is different all over the world, but to my surprise, many of the deaf in Japan knew ASL already, and we were able to communicate and teach one another. God did so many incredible things that week, but the part that blew me away the most was when I was able to talk to my boyfriend, David, when I got back to my host home. I was so excited to tell him all about my experience and update him on what was going on, but God also had something to interject. During my week-long media fast, God had been speaking to David and the missionaries I was working with through dreams and prayer times. David started asking me more questions about the place I was at. Like, wait, were the color of the drapes blue? Is there a hill on the left side of the building? Sliding glass doors on the back? And I was absolutely astounded because God had showed him exactly where I was without him ever being there before. Then the missionary I was staying with walked by to say hello. David's eyes got wide as he told me that that was the man God had showed him in his dream. I told the missionaries what David had said, and they said God told them He would be giving me a sign while I was in Japan. The rest of the trip was phenomenal, and God confirmed so many things. David proposed the day after I returned from my internship, and we were getting married in the summer of 2019. After that, we both plan on pursuing our master's degrees through UVF so we can teach in Japan in the future as missionaries. My time here at UVF has confirmed the call God has on my life time and time again, and I'm so excited to see God carry me through to the end.